Right, this is topic 1, greatest common factors. So the first thing is, what are they? The greatest common factors, we usually ask what is the GCF of two numbers or two polynomials. And we would say the greatest number that all numbers given are divisible by. So if we look at our first example, we need to list all the numbers that multiply to each of those. So if I look at 15, what numbers is 15 divisible by? So every single number is always divisible by 1. 15 is not divisible by 2. It is divisible by 3. Not divisible by 4. It's divisible by 5. And then it's also divisible by itself. Another way we could look at it is the pairs of numbers that multiply. So 15 has 4 factors, 1, 3, 5, and 15. Let's look at 36. It's always divisible by 1, and 1 times 36 gives me that 36. So 36 is also a factor. 36 is divisible by 2. When you divide 36 by 2, you get 18. 36 is divisible by 3, and when you divide by 3, you get 12. 36 is divisible by 4, and when you divide by 4, you get 9. It's not divisible by 5, and 36 is divisible by 6 because 6 times 6 is 36. So that is the list of all the factors. So what we do now is find the greatest one they have in common. They're both divisible by 1, but let's see if there's a bigger number. I have 3 and 3. Neither 36 is not divisible by 5 or 15, therefore my greatest common factor is 3. Let's look at number 2, 150 and 200. Those are pretty big numbers, and I really don't want to list all the factors. But what I do see is that they have a 0 at the end. So I know they're definitely divisible by 5 and 10, but I can see that they are also divisible by 50, because this is 50 times 3, and this is 50 times 4. So the biggest number that they're divisible by is 50. And when you practice more, you can kind of know them without listing all the factors. But what I would like you to do is complete page 2 right now. Right, we have some more examples that involve variables. So the first thing we have to do is find the GCF of the coefficients. So with the first one, the factors of 4 are 1, 2, and 4. The factors of 12 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. So the GCF is going to be 4. So that's the biggest number that they both go into. So I can write 4. But I also have variables. I have an x squared and an x. So I pull out the least exponent. So I have a 2 and I have a 1, so I can only pull out an x to the first. So my GCF is 4x. Let's do this again. If we look at number 3, we have 5 and 15. So if we have a small number, always check to see if that's the GCF first. So because 5 goes into 15, 5 is the GCF of our coefficients. Now we look at our x's. I have an x to the first and an x to the second. Remember, you can only take out the lower number of those two. So I can take out an x to the first or just x. And then we look at our other variable, y to the first and y to the second. So just like the last one, you can only take out the least exponent. So I can take out 1y, and that is my GCF. Number 4 is a little more complicated, but that's okay. We have 16 and 24. 24 is not divisible by 16, so let's go ahead and list them. The factors of 16 are 1, 2, 4, 8, and 16. And then the factors of 24 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, and 24. So if I want to look for the GCF, what's the biggest number? Well, they both have an 8, and that's the largest number they have in common. So my GCF of the coefficients is 8. Now I look at my a's. I have an a to the second and an a to the third. Remember, we take out the smallest exponent, so I can take out an a squared. Next, I have a b to the third and a b to the second. So once again, the smaller number wins, b squared. And last but not least, I have a c to the first and a c to the fourth. Once again, the smaller number is the only thing I can take out, so c or c to the first. Right, so after those 3 examples, I'd like you to complete page 3, and that's it for the notes.